It's so cool to see Alex Straza and Hanzo in action, and I can't wait for all of you to get to play them and experience our 2018 gameplay update. Yeah. All right, I'm also really excited about bringing performance-based matchmaking to the game, because it rethinks our traditional win-loss-based system and lets your personal performance in matches directly influence your matchmaking rating, whether you win or lose. Yeah. So we know how important that is to our community, and we've heard your feedback, so please keep it coming. Now, no doubt you have some questions about our new heroes and the 2018 gameplay update. So for all the details on that and more, please check out the Heroes of the Storm What's Next panel today and our deep dive panel tomorrow. And of course, for all of you here at BlizzCon, our new heroes and the gameplay changes are playable out on the show floor. So please go try them out and let us know what you think. And for all of us, what better way to wrap this year than to see the best players in the world at the Heroes Grand Championship or Global Championship World Finals tomorrow night. I know I can't wait to see these teams battle it out this weekend. All right. Okay, BlizzCon, we have some incredible things coming for you all in the next year. And while we'll be bringing you epic content and unforgettable heroes, we also have plans to dive deeper into events that are unfolding in the Nexus. We can't wait to share that and so much more with you. But in the meantime, thank you for inspiring us to make Heroes of the Storm bigger and better than ever. And we'll see you in the Nexus. All right. Now, it's my pleasure to hand it off to Hearthstone's game director, Ben Brode, over on the Hearthstone stage.
BlizzCon! What up? Well met. Wow. There's a lot of people here. All right. Yeah. Where the Invitational will take place later this weekend. You get it. The Hearthstone Tavern is back and bigger than ever. Come stop by for a drink or to challenge one of the Hearthstone developers. I think it's one of the coolest things at BlizzCon. Listen, this has been an awesome year for Hearthstone. We journeyed into Ungoro Crater. We joined the Lich King and became Knights of the Frozen Throne. And today, you're going to see the final set in the Year of the Mammoth. It comes out next month, and it takes us back to the roots of classic fantasy, full of monsters, treasures, and traps. It brings back memories of sitting around a table, gaming with your buddies, delving deep into dark dungeons. Get ready for Hearthstone's next expansion.
Legends tell of a vast underground world and the countless treasures that lie in store for worthy adventurers. You've signed up the best, you're on a great quest to find the mighty mother lode. There's treasure galore, but perils in store and construction that isn't up to code. Trespass with care, there's sure to be something rare. You can grab all the loot that you can handle. Such riches you'll own, but leave one thing alone.
You don't take candle.
And if you steal the light, you then must take flight, eluding each hazard and each strife. It's a chaotic race as the monsters give chase, and all the while you're trying to follow the map. They're gaining on you, your options are few, and you fear that you're never gonna get home. You sought after wealth, will you lose all your health to kobolds and catacombs?
It's kobolds and catacombs.
I love this set. It's awesome. Kobold tunnels full of treasure, This is our love letter to that classic fantasy dungeon crawling vibe. So what kind of cards can you expect from Kobolds and Catacombs? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you discover this. But the lock is broken. Where do you want to go? Okay. All right. Cheer if you want to go into the tunnel. All right, now cheer if you want to go in the door. Okay, I think I heard tunnel louder, I think. Okay, all right. All right, so we're going to go left. We're going to go left. Right? Okay. All right. We're going to go left. To the Stinky Goo tunnel. All right, great. Okay, let's go. All right. So you slide through the tunnel and enter a room with a huge ooze creature lying dead on the floor. Prying a chest from its remains is the legendary adventurer, Marin the Fox. So Marin will spawn a chest, and if you can break the chest open, you'll earn one of the craziest cards we've ever made in Hearthstone, cards like Toland's Goblet. Draw a card, fill your hand with copies of it. It's pretty crazy. All right. Marin is so excited to join your party that he's coming out way before the rest of the set. Everyone who logs in starting Monday will get Marin the Fox for free. Also, everyone here at BlizzCon or watching at home via the virtual tickets will also get a golden copy. Okay, back to the dungeon. Marin winks at you and escapes with the treasure. You see two doors in front of you. To your left is a door with a sign on it that says, Kobold Treasure Hoard, Adventurers Keep Out. To your right is a door with the words Certain Death scrawled on it. Where do you want to go? Why? Okay, all right. We're gonna go right. Okay, we're gonna go right. You guys are bold. All right. Let's go. Let's check it out. Okay, so your party enters the room, and as you do, the walls start closing in, crushing half of your party. What did you expect? All right. So, okay, everybody from here to here, you're all dead. All right. On the bright side, you found another new card, Crushing Walls. Destroy your opponent's left and rightmost minions. This is a hunter card. Okay, well, you guys are gonna have to recruit some new party members to finish the dungeon. Fortunately, the new keyword in Kobolds and Catacombs is recruit. All right, so recruit means that you'll pull a minion directly out of your deck and put it directly into the battlefield. So imagine pulling Ysera for only 6 mana. Should make a pretty good healer for your party, I think. All right. You can tell that you're close to finding the legendary treasure. This next decision is very important. To your left is a hallway, and claw marks mar the entrance. To your right is another hall that is literally on fire. Okay, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Okay, all right. If you want to go left, cheer. How about right? Okay, we're gonna go right. We're gonna go right. All right, let's go. So you run through the hallway, burning away most of your clothes, and you enter a room filled with kobold candles surrounding a pedestal with a glowing disc atop it. It's the legendary treasure you were searching for, the priest card, Dragon Soul. Yes, this is Hearthstone's first legendary weapon. Every time you cast 3 spells, you'll summon a huge dragon. We've made legendary weapons for all 9 classes, even ones that have never had weapons before. I'm super excited about these 9 cards. They're crazy. BlizzCon, congratulations on completing the dungeon and escaping with the legendary treasure. Good job. Well done. Unfortunately, you missed some of the cards in the dungeon, so you'll have to come to the panel later today to see the things you didn't get to explore. Check out some of the other cards and the other mechanics in Kobolds and Catacombs. So, look, there was a reason I ran you through a dungeon, and it wasn't just to kill this half of the room. We also have a new single-player experience, and it's nothing like what we've done in the past. This time, we're introducing a totally new single-player mode, and it's called the Dungeon Run. So a dungeon run is all about defeating bosses, collecting loot, and leveling up your character. And in a Kobolds and Catacombs dungeon run, we'll shuffle up an 8-card boss deck, and you'll defeat 8 random bosses. And each time you defeat a boss, you'll learn some new cards for your deck. You start with a lowly 10-card deck. You learn some new cards for your deck, increasing your power each game. If you lose, we throw your deck away, and you have to start all over from the beginning with a new strategy. It's essentially a Hearthstone roguelike, and it's our most replayable single-player content ever. Also, it's completely free. It's totally separate from your normal collection. You don't need any cards to play. Come check it out here. We're here in the North Hall, and our demo station's over there. Come try it. I think you're gonna love it. It's awesome. All right. Don't forget to come to the panel later today to see the cards that you missed in the dungeon run and some of the other new mechanics in the set. The team is so excited about Kobolds and Catacombs. We cannot wait to share the set with you and the new dungeon run mode when it comes out next month. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce someone who I personally have run a bunch of dungeons with in my time. From the Overwatch arena, Jeff Kaplan.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Overwatch arena. I think the arena is absolutely amazing. We're going to be here. Yeah, it is. Let's hear it for the arena. And you guys are amazing. We want to say a special hello to everybody watching at home. Everybody here at BlizzCon, whatever hall you're in, give it up for everybody watching at home right now. And for you guys who are here with us today, we can't thank you enough. It's amazing to have you here in Anaheim, California. California is my home state. I think it's the best state in the entire union. We have everything here. If it's not in California, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. I said it, that's right. We have the most beautiful mountains. We have the most beautiful beaches. Right outside these doors, right in front of me, there's even a theme park. Now, how many of you who are here in California with us for the weekend are going to also hit up the theme park? Now, it gets me wondering sometimes, and it gets the Overwatch team wondering, have you ever imagined what a Blizzard theme park might look like? The Overwatch team certainly has, and I present to you now, Blizzard World. Let's check it out.
Where you took your first steps in Azeroth. Where you confronted the Lord of Terror himself. where you spawned your first Zergling rush. Sometimes, epic memories can only be made in an epic world. Your adventure, your community, your memories. See them come alive in your world. Blizzard World.
Epic fun detected.
Well met. Stay a while and listen to the fireworks.
Come and visit Blizzard World. New adventures are waiting for you.
I can't wait to get on some rides.
For the horde!
Yeah, we did it. We went there. We had so much fun making this map, but the super fun part for us in making a map is seeing what you guys do on it. So we cannot wait for you to be playing this map. You'll be playing it all weekend here at BlizzCon. Also, the map will be going live early next year, and you'll see it on the PTR very, very soon. So the map is awesome. We had a ton of fun making it. It's a hybrid map, so that means it's part assault and part payload. Now, I know most of you don't know what payload is, so everybody turn to the Zenyatta main to your left, and he'll figure it out. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about what payload means. Now, one thing we always say about Overwatch is that the world needs heroes. And the Overwatch team thinks that you guys need another hero. I would like to announce and to introduce you to Moira. She speaks for herself. Let's check her out.
We are bedeviled by the mysteries of creation. Science can reveal the truths that lie behind these many questions. What we learn can unlock the true potential of humanity. To the shadows. Tell me how this feels. Come to me and I will heal you. I will unmake you. Simple geometry.
Lights out.
Surrender to my will. Allow me to repair the damage. I feel unstoppable. My will made real.
There she is. Moira is our newest support healer. Now, I know a lot of you were begging for a DPS, but we made a healer instead, so I hope you're okay with that. She is so much fun to play. She does a tremendous amount of healing. She also can do a tremendous amount of damage as well. So she's really fun and interactive to play. She has that fade ability, so that gives her great mobility as a support character as well. In case you're wondering how to spell Moira, it's spelled O-P-A-F, just in case you're wondering. So there's some other cool notes about Moira that we should talk about. She has a really great backstory as well. Not only was she a part of Reyes's secretive Black Watch, she also has a storied history with Talon. Now, you guys are going to learn all about Moira, Blizzard World, and maybe even another announcement in the Overwatch What's Next panel. It's going to be on the Mythic stage at 2:45 today. I cannot encourage you enough to check out that panel. We even have an origin video for Moira that will be debuting during that panel. And Moira's fully playable here on the show floor in Blizzard World all weekend long. And dare I say, it's no limits. Oh my God, it's going to be a mess, but you'll have so much fun.
Excuse me, Mr. Kaplan. I'm here to deliver the payload.
What is this?
Hammer down! Candy! 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 I'm coming, my friend! You wait right there, it's a long way! I live for this!
Hi! Darren DePaul, voice actor for Reinhardt.
Once again, Halloween not popular in my neighborhood. 3 kids. 3. Jeff, Candy?
Yeah, thanks.
There you go. I'm here because Blizzard changed my life as an actor, as a person. You guys have been amazing to me. I remember exactly where I was standing a couple BlizzCons ago when Overwatch was first announced, because I didn't even know it was called Overwatch. That first session, you didn't tell me anything.
We didn't tell you.
It was like a line drawing of Reinhardt with the helmet off. And so there was the first animated short, and I was going, a gorilla from the moon? I think I'm in that. And then they showed the gameplay trailer where they announced all the heroes. And I didn't hear me, I didn't hear me, I didn't hear me. And the last guy to come around was Reinhardt. And it was my birthday, so thank you, happy birthday to me on that one. And now, guys, we're here. And we're all part of this amazing community because, thank you. More cry. I am going to cry. Crying is my ultimate, I will cry. But you guys have taken these characters and these worlds to your hearts and to your minds. They have inspired you. We've seen amazing cosplay. We've seen spectacular fan art. And of course, there are the animated shorts that are jaw-droppingly wonderful. And what we've seen May science her way out of a problem. We've seen the rivalry between Genji and Hanzo. We've seen Bastion be so just darn cute and lovable. So now, as a friend of mine might say, bring me another!
I thought we talked about this. You don't have to do this anymore. Winston's message wasn't meant for you. This isn't your fight. Papa told me, after so many years of service, you gave Overwatch everything, and then they pushed you out. Why would you go back to them? What were you still fighting?
So, that's it. You're leaving us.
I have been called. I must answer. It is a great honor.
To disappear into some secret organization. Give up the glory of being a crusader? I don't think so.
He wishes he got picked.
The Crusaders are immortal defenders of Germany. People will be singing songs about our legacies.
Our legacies are our deeds. And this war is bigger than all of us.
Drop huts to the east, they're coming!
All right, people, they're playing our song. Stick with your dance partners. Let's crush those rust buckets.
Here's your walking stick, old man.
Live with honor.
Die with glory.
back and protect your team!
Ah, they're just slowing me down! Ah! Besides, they're fine!
What is that?
That is mine!
Damn it, Reinhardt! Reinhardt!
Marvel sing!
We're being overrun! Fall back to the rally point! I'll get Reinhardt!
I had this.
Obviously. They're cutting us off! Let's move! That door won't hold. Get back to the unit. I will hold them off.
And let you have all the glory? We will fight our way back together!
No. I'm staying here.
But without you...
Lieutenant! You took an oath to be a crusader. Now, keep it.
I won't leave you!
The team needs you. Be their shield. Reinhardt, live with honor.
Die with glory, old friend.
I have been called. I must answer. Always.
Please welcome executive producer of World of Warcraft, J. Allen Brack.
Team Overwatch. Amazing, emotional piece. Thanks for setting me up. A very difficult job to come out to. I do want to talk about another game, one that also has amazing shoulder pads. Before we get started, I want to channel an old friend. Horde, where are you? Alliance, let me hear you. All right. Thank you. I'm grateful to have been given the opportunity to be with you today. This is a really special day for me. This is a really special day for the team. To everyone here watching online, watching in the BlizzCon halls, we are here to talk about what's new for World of Warcraft. It has been a pretty incredibly epic year for the WoW community. We've seen old heroes fall and new ones rise. We adventured on the Broken Shore. We conquered Suramar. We watched the defeat of Gul'dan and Illidan crush his skull. And more awaits us on Argus, the confrontation with Sargeras, a titan at the heart of Warcraft lore. We will be watching the community, and we'll be waiting on that world first. Now, before I get to the big news, I want to take a minute. And I want to talk about ice cream. Ice cream is great. Ice cream is one of my favorite desserts. Personally, I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my all-time favorite dessert. But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
Someone once said that you can't go home again, but they lacked vision. And a temporal discombobulator.
Fans of World of Warcraft around the world, we hear you. I am pleased and also a little bit nervous to announce the development of a classic server option for World of Warcraft. This is a larger endeavor than you might imagine, but we are committed to making an authentic Blizzard-quality classic experience. We want to reproduce the game experience that we all enjoyed from the original classic WoW, not the actual launch experience. So please bear with us It's going to take some time, but it will happen. Now, I love you too. Now, I'm sure all of you remember the original WoW server blades that we auctioned off for charity a few years ago. We're probably going to need those back. Speaking of charity, in all seriousness, you all showed great support when we launched Shadow, the charity pet, ahead of schedule to help with disaster relief around the world. You've all donated very generously. It's always exciting to see the Horde and Alliance working together. Today, I am pleased to reveal that we've also created an IRL version of Shadow available later this month. Sales of the Shadow plushie, adorable. Sales of the Shadow plushie through the end of the year will go to the same global disaster relief efforts. I speak for everyone at Blizzard when I say it makes a difference. You know, the annual charity contribution is one of the many symbols of the WoW community. And in total, you have all donated over $15 million to charitable causes over the years. So thank you for your help. I mentioned we had some news. Players are now actively fighting on Argus, homeworld of the Burning Legion. But soon, that chapter will come to an end. Deep rivalries between the factions lingers. After all, you members of the Horde, you came to Azeroth in search of nothing more than a home. And that is a journey that the Alliance has shown little respect for. Am I right, Horde? And Alliance, you do not forget the broken shore. You do not forget the betrayal that led to the death of your own King Varian. Animosity between the Horde and the Alliance remains strong. And from these deep wounds between the factions will flow the next story in the chapter of Azeroth. This is the story. Horde versus Alliance. Wounds that can never be healed. This is the beginning of the next expansion. Let's take a look at the features.
My father once told me that peace was like a dream. Beautiful, ephemeral, unattainable. I didn't listen. No one listened. We've made kindling from our suffering, stirred the embers of resentment, just waiting for a single spark to set the whole world aflame. As the Alliance returns to forgotten kingdoms, the Horde seeks the might of an ancient empire. Dream any longer. The time has come to call on allies willing to join the fight. to rally beneath the banners of a world at war.
Welcome to the new expansion. I heard some of you obviously spot Jaina, our favorite human mage. Or is Khadgar our favorite human mage? I'm not sure. Okay. Battle for Azeroth will make you prouder than ever to declare your allegiance to the Noble Alliance. Battle for Azeroth will call on you to rally in support of the mighty Horde. The stakes have never been higher. Now, more than ever, your faction matters. You're wondering about everything else you just saw. Islands, war fronts, and allied races. We can't wait to tell you about all that and more during our panels this weekend, starting right here at 12:30, right here. Game director Ian, creative director Alex will be here doing a deep dive for everything that's next with World of Warcraft. And it wouldn't be BlizzCon if you couldn't get your hands on some new content right now. Battle for Azeroth is playable here on the show floor for everyone at BlizzCon. We've also recorded some special videos of the BlizzCon experience, the BlizzCon demo experience for everyone watching with the virtual ticket. We have one more thing for you. Normally, we would announce the expansion, we would show the logo, and then later, much later, we would show you the intro cinematic. But this year is a little bit different. Now, before we roll this piece, I want to tell you that a lot of love has gone into everything that you're about to see here. So, on behalf of the thousands of people that work on World of Warcraft around the world, it is our great honor to share with you the intro cinematic for Battle for Azeroth.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours!
My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
Have a great BlizzCon. Be good to one another. Have fun. Welcome home.
This concludes our opening ceremonies. Mythic Stage's panel presentations resume at 12:30 p.m. with World of Warcraft. What's next? Have a great BlizzCon.
Brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Intel, T-Mobile, and NVIDIA.
Everybody, joining us now is Blizzard Entertainment President and CEO Mike Morhaime. Mike, every year I think you can't get crazier than.
Live from the BlizzCon stage at the Anaheim Convention Center, it is the Heroes of the Storm Global Championship Finals for 2017. If you're watching at home, make yourself comfortable, because we're in for 2 incredible days of Heroes of the Storm action. And of course, if you're here, live and in person, let me hear you, BlizzCon! 2 days, I will be your host, of course, and it all began last week when our top 16 teams from around the world went head-to-head at the Blizzard Arena in Burbank, California. Our top 8 emerged, and they are gonna go to war over the next 2 days, and we will crown a champion. Now, let me introduce to you our top 8 teams in the HGC, and let me hear your team. Feel free to scream it out. Up first, Korea's MVP Black, North America's Team Freedom, out of the EU, Team Dignitas, EU's Team Expert, North America Tempo Storm, from Sweden, Fnatic, reigning champions of BlizzCon 2016 from Korea, Ballistics.
Can you tell us a little bit?
And rounding it all out, North America's Roll20 Esports. I will not be alone to walk you through all the action this weekend, though. Of course, we have our illustrious panel of experts and analysts. At the helm, the gentleman who is basically the kingpin of all things Velcro patches at BlizzCon. He managed to acquire all of them before the show even began. That is James Kylaris Carroll. Happy BlizzCon, my friend.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Indeed, I have a whole lot more than just that base 21. Thank you as we get things kicked off here for day number 1. Victory here can only be achieved through determination, sweat, and blood. 8 teams, 8 banners represented here across 3 continents. So South Korea, we have also, of course, North America, and we have Europe. Battling it out here in the top 8 as things go on. To my left-hand side, I am joined by Skimmy. We have also Grubby down at the very end, J-How in the middle. I thought I'd skip you for a moment there as we get things going. Guys, excited for BlizzCon, excited for the top 8, Grubby?
It's so nice to finally be here and to see who will take the next World Championship. We've got 8 amazing teams here, and I'm so ready for it, Kylaris.
It feels weird because literally everybody's like, who do you see as the favorite? Who's going to win? And it's like nobody has a decision on this. There's some favorites coming in, but this is the most competitive Heroes of the Storm tournament we've ever had. And so the excitement between last night, opening week, and coming in today, I am really looking forward to seeing how we play out day 1 and, of course, the championship.
Yeah, absolutely excited to be here. Obviously my first time. So for everyone here, it's going to be fantastic. Obviously you've got 3 North American teams for an American crowd. Win for a treat.
It's going to be good. It is going to be good. As they mentioned, those 8 teams are going to be battling things out, and they're playing for a whole lot of money. But, of course, it wasn't an easy task getting here. Let's find out exactly how they did, just in case you missed the first 4 days. Over the last 10 months, all of these teams have been building the foundations to lead up to 6 play days. 16 teams fighting for $1 million, just about to begin and unfold here for day number 1 of the HGC final. So without further ado, let's introduce you to Group A.
팀들을 상대하게 하면서 딱히 긴장된다, 걱정된다라는 느낌은 없고 그냥 편하게 올라갈 수 있겠다 이런 느낌밖에 없어요.
I think this is going to be the 2-0 as more and more carnage is on the board here, JL. Fresh meat for everybody. It was a series where we saw some flair from this team. We saw the first butcher of the tournament, the first butcher for MVP Black this year.
We have a lot of unique strats ready to go, and I think we'll surprise people.
A lot of people are looking at this match, Dread, to start things off as the big definer of who's going to take potentially second place in this group.
Sonya can win this fight single-handedly. Will Aluful stay alive? No! Temper Storm take down Ariel and Tassadar.
Tempo Storm has always stuck together as a team. They have come back swinging after every single time that they failed, and this time they take out CE, they took out Deadly Kittens, and they get to go to BlizzCon and play in the round of 8.
The teams in our group, I think they're pretty weak. We have the easiest group of them all. I think we have North America Seed 2 in Freedom, but I think they're the 3rd best team in NA.
He said 6 points against 21. They need to grab this one. This could end the game. If Team Freedom gets this altar, then it's all over for Fnatic in game number 2, and Genji falls.
Drippy has fallen, being kiting back here on the side. Breeze goes in, misses the Stormbolt. Collusion is going for the channel. He's gonna get it. It looks like, yes, he does. And Team Freedom will tie up the series and go to game number 3. I'm just happy for Team Freedom here, man. North America coming out, and they are swinging heavy punches in.
Now Team Freedom is taking damage at the core. Fnatic is going in, the European team, with a 2-1 victory. Even with Stitches being lost, no chance for Team Freedom to turn this around. Fnatic takes the series and moves on to BlizzCon as the number 1 seed in Group B.
Line's gonna be dropped, Infinity goes in, Ego goes for the mosh pit. But that was a great cleanse to start things off, but it wasn't enough there. Continuous wins. I think this is gonna do us so much damage, but all the AoE damage coming out as well there from Team Freedom. This could be their key. This could be the victory that they need as they rip them apart. That's gonna be almost a full team wipe with the Burrow for good measure, but beyond the game gets absolute team wiped. And that is Team Freedom buying their ticket to go to BlizzCon. It's Group C, and that C stands for one thing: death.
You know, Red Cannon's coming into us thinking, wow, how do we try and topple this this three-man roster from these major regions, which are all so dominant?
50% core, 30, it's dropping more and more. Red Cannons, they have done it. They have come out and got their first win at an international event against the best team in North America.
This 3-team group has suddenly become a 4-team group.
I think this game completely changes everyone's expectations.
Fantastic play. Roll20 dropping the first map is now primed and ready to take down the core for the 2nd time in this best of 3.
Our first map, Infernal Shrines, as we get ready to see this Clash of the Titans in Group C. Right now, the team is about to fall, and if they get the kill after the flip here, that might be the beginning of the end. They go to the core, they drop Roll20, and they take the series without
done it. They have come out and
North America, Kalaris, against the number 3 seed from Korea.
Glarum goes down, however, but Injusting hitting that core. 10%. 4, 3, too much. He has redemption. Tempest out 2-0. The first time in a BlizzCon, North America takes out Korea since Cloud9. North America will take this group tonight in advance to BlizzCon.
对于还有一个 ST， 因为我们经常跟他们分在一组各种比赛，但是我们因为总有一个队员签证的问题，然后只能无奈带上老板 Simba， 然后每次都输给他们，然后我只想对他们说，这是
我们一定会复仇的。
And now Masaka going in, stalling out the hearse there. The core is falling, the power slide in. We've got a 3-man mosh pit. The cleanse is going to be there, and that is a core falling.
The revenge for SPT to start things off here in Group D is complete. And with a 2-0, I add dread. That was a good start for them.
그리고 웬만하면은 저희 발리스틱스랑 그리고 익스퍼트는 웬만 올라갈 것 같고 이변이 있다면 SPT가 이변을 일으키는 게 아니라면 무난하게 저희랑 익스퍼트가 올라갈 것 같아요.
Going to BlizzCon, Ballistics will be doing so here as they come in as they focus down the core, and we will have our second Korean team going to BlizzCon in Anaheim next week. And Ballistics, man, they are looking dominant.
So in our group, the one team that I'm not so sure about it is SPT. So I think this is like the strongest SPT team that we will see this year.
The Li Ming, a Thero with the Tracer, the immediate blow up, gets stuffed, and you get stuffed as well. That's 4 down, Morales goes down, Team Expert wipes the slate clean, and they have their visors on the core, and they have their visors on BlizzCon in Anaheim.
Many a game played out by our top 8 and
this. I love the confidence going into this team. Yeah. You are the team captain. You get to do the honors. What is your team name today?
Li Ming and the Resets.
Whoa, Li Ming and the Resets.
I love it.
I love that
Everybody, let's hear it for Team 2, Li Ming and the Resets.
Thank you guys so much. Head on this way down here. Thank you so much. Head on this way. Thank
and
you guys
let's
so
get
much.
Team 3 up on stage. Team 3, very exciting. Matching outfits almost. We got this. Beautiful. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Great. That's great to hear. Me too. What's your name?
My name is WS.
WS. My name's Lana. Very nice to meet you. What are you most excited about for BlizzCon 2017?
Actually being able to participate in one of these community events. I've been trying for years, and now I get to be on stage.
Oh, that warms my heart.
Well, we're so glad to have you. Are you ready to compete in the Heroes community?
one of the biggest prize pools we've ever had in Heroes of the Storm, if not the biggest prize pool we've had in Heroes of the Storm. So this is very, very important for these teams, Jay Howe.
Just the stakes up at the top. I mean, that you said $100,000 each to take home. I mean, we've never seen that. And all the players are like, hey, we want that big money. If we're going to win, we want to win big, right? And so there's a lot of pressure when you raise that. Generally, it's like, all right, we kind of got second. It's okay. We still get good money. But this is like life-changing money. So it's a very, very different feel.
Now, of course, these teams have been working for this over the entire year with the HGC League format. Every team has made it here by qualification over their 14 league matches over the year. So this is a huge combination of prize money, a huge combination of all of their efforts.
Let's take a look at the bracket, which will stand as we continue on from today and through tomorrow as well. Our first round is a best-of-3 format, and we will have such matches as Team Junkrat versus Expert, a big EU versus EU play there, and then we have things like Ballistics versus Roll20 down the line, Fnatic and Tempo Storm. But our first match in a few moments' time that we will turn our attention to will be that MVP Black going up against Team Freedom. Overall, guys, looking at that bracket as it plays out with the first round being best-of-3 and everything thereafter being best-of-5s, what do you make of the bracket? How it's shaped up? Who's going to be playing who?
I mean, you see Europe versus Europe in that second round, Seed 2 versus Seed 3, so that looks very exciting indeed. Yeah. But I'm particularly excited for actually Team Freedom against MVP Black and Ballistics versus, of course, Roll20 as well. These two teams in North America probably have the best chances to make it in a best-of-3 against their Korean adversaries. It won't be easy, but if they can make it, they're going to make some new history for the North American esports scene here.
Gimme?
Yeah, I mean, MVP Black coming in as that hot favorite. They've been out of the contest for quite a while, but they've obviously come back into the front load of things to saying, look, Europe is no longer going to be that #1 region. We want to put ourselves back on the top of the throne, so to speak. So a lot of love in their direction, but Team Freedom, they've been feeling confident going into these ones. Obviously, you can't take too much away from scrims, but it sets the platform for a good series.
Schedule is ready, so let's take a look at that as well. 2020 esports. What's your favorite J-How? If you had to kind of like pick one that's the kind of the cream of the crop for you at a personal level?
Choice. Thanks for putting me on the spot here.
No problem.
I think I'll go back to breakfast last week. I'm sitting down. Tempo had just won with their Kerrigan drafts. And Fnatic's like, look, if you guys play us in the next stage, please play that against us.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you get your wish there? So I really want to see how that series shapes up.
Of course, statistics are always exciting for
esports. What's your favorite J-How? If you had to kind of like pick one that's the cream of the crop for you at a personal level?
I'm most excited about the one that's coming up right here. MVP Black
I
versus
think
Team
I'll go
Freedom.
back to
MVP
breakfast
Black,
last week. I'm
phenomenal
sitting
team,
down.
14-0 in league format, 4-0 in the groups here. In fact, their most recent losses are on the 23rd of June, actually the 19th of June, the Eastern Clash, they lost 2 matches, but besides those 2, they haven't lost for pretty much half a year at this moment. Can Team Freedom do it? So far, MVP Black has sometimes struggled at the BlizzCon stage.
Just give me your thoughts on MVP Black coming up against Freedom before we launch into things.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels a little bit like a resurgence of that 2015, late 2015 into 2016, when they went on, I believe, like a 43 consecutive win streak. Like, they were the team to beat, the team to watch, and the meta to sort of adapt to, I suppose. With Noblesse coming in as that coach, once a part of L5, now Ballistics. They've got all the tools there to really set themselves up for this year being the BlizzCon Championship.
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, that will be our first fixture coming up in a second here. So, of course, it will be Team Freedom going up against MVP Black, where Team Freedom looks to find opportunity here, going up against a former world champion, where most people would feel a diverse and difficult task ahead of them.
This is my first BlizzCon, so I'm feeling really excited to have a chance on the biggest stage in Heroes. Playing MVP Black in the first round, at first it looks like, you know, the worst possible draw, but actually a best of 3 versus the best team in the tournament is a lot better than a best of 5.
So the BO3 format kind of give us an advantage, I feel like. In a BO5, I literally don't think we can take down MVP Black, but the BO3 makes it that if we have a good start, we take a game off of them and then we can literally just win the next game and it's over.
저희 첫 상대가 북미 팀이라서 그들이 홈팀이기 때문에 관중들이 아마 그들을 많이 응원할 것 같은데, 솔직히 저희는 그런 거는 크게 신경 안 쓰고 저희가 할 것만 하기 때문에 관중들은 크게 신경을 안 쓸 것 같아요. 이번 8강에서 팀 프리덤은 정석적으로 간다면은 저희가 좀 더 유리하게 이끌 수 있을 것 같고, 만약에 그들이 정석적인 픽이 아닌 좀 변칙적인 픽을 가져온다면 저희가 그것에 대해서 대책을 좀 마련해야 할 것 같아요.
8강에서 저희가 팀 프리덤을 만나게 됐는데 다른 조에 비해서는 저희가 쉬울 것 같아요. 아무리 그래도 작년의 느낌으로 말하면 서양 쪽이라 서양 팀이랑 할 때는 좀 약간 주눅드는 감이 없지 않아 있긴 한데, 그냥 한번 경험해 보니까 이제는 괜찮을 것 같아요.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge BlizzCon welcome to our first matchup of the day. In the red corner, North America's Team Freedom! And over in the blue corner, making their return to the BlizzCon stage, none other than Korea's MVP Black! All right, captains, please come center stage and shake hands. Good luck, and may the best team win.
One of the most feared teams on the planet here in MVP Black. Across multiple years will now go up against some of North America's finest. Over the span of the last 6 months, we've seen Team Freedom go from strength to strength. They've made it to the top 8. They've made it to BlizzCon here, Grubby, but it is still a daunting task ahead of them.
It definitely is. They are 11-3 in the league format. And here at this tournament, Freedom has gone 5-3. They've taken a map from the #1 seed in their group, in Fnatic. But overall, Team Freedom is a team that 70% of the time looks amazing. And the other times, they are still not up to the standard of MVP Black. 4-0 here, 14-0 in the league format. I mean, this is a huge challenge for Team Freedom.
And the big thing about that is for MVP Black, going into the opening stages of this tournament, Jay Howe, it almost felt like they were playing with their food. It looked dominant.
They said it in their opening interviews that it just was, they didn't respect the people in their group, so to speak. I mean, that might be a little bit harsh, but they go in there and they literally dominate. They knew exactly what they had in front of them. Their group was definitely in favor of them being as dominant as they are. So it was no surprise, and I think it's safe to say that we have not seen their best form yet.
Yeah, we haven't actually really seen that true test of what MVP Black have been preparing from the shadows to bring here to the BlizzCon stage. And I think Reset said it best himself. If they try and play a standard, there is no way they can beat us. And that's something that we're obviously going to be jumping into in a second. But how do Team Freedom actually approach this matchup? And the best of 3 series, probably their best chance, given that best of 5. You know, it's a long time to try and compete against the world's best.
Yeah. Let's adjust our frame for a moment, of course, as the HGC universe out there across the entire year almost has been cheering for all of these teams rigorously and joining in all of the fun. Let's check in with the global cheer bar that you can contribute to at home as well. You can support your favorite teams, get yourself banners, get yourself skins, everything available to you when it comes to amount, of course. That's all very exciting. And you can cheer for MVP Black right now. You can cheer for Team Freedom right now and show your support for these guys. Because overall, they're going to need it, especially someone like Team Freedom going up against MVP Black, who are some of the best in the world.
Yeah, and you know, it's really tough. MVP Black, Sake said it already. If they play us standard, they're going to have a hard time. Paraphrase. And the thing is, Black hasn't really shown anything yet. Their drafts were very standard. And I feel like on the flip side, in order to make it, Team Freedom has had to show a lot more already, Kalaris.
Yeah.
And we will see that in the draft as we'll break that down for you guys. But they've shown a lot more, so that can be used against them.
I think the part that really hit home for me was the fact that they said they want to draft a composition which is really revolving around mobility. And what does mobility really scream at to me? You're seeking opportunity. You're trying to create opportunity out of thin air. If you try and play them in team fight and macro, just a standard lane matchup, they will beat you every single day of the year.
We're going to find out what battleground we're going to start this best of 3. And you heard it just before, and it will be MVP Black taking them to Tomb of the Spider Queen, Jay Howe.
It's a bit surprising to me that I don't see a BOE ban, and I was talking about this the other night. I think Skimmy and I were sitting around discussing the map picks. We see BOE, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Dragonshire. Those are kind of the top 3 for MVP Black. BOE is their most dominant. Maybe they're wanting to hide something. Tomb of the Spider Queen, I want to put this into perspective because at Eastern Clash, they picked this a lot. And it was the first time they struggled. Grubby actually alluded to that, them dropping a few games. Tomb of the Spider Queen was one where they had trouble on.
All right, we're almost ready for the draft as well here between these 2 teams. As they get geared up, they have to be nervous given the situation here in this round of 8 to start things, Grubby, because all of it begins here. It's a single elimination. Best of 3. Things could be potentially volatile.
Yes, it's a cutthroat format. Just 2 to 3 games to prove your mettle. But Team Freedom said that they are happy with that format. It gives them a better chance to try and oust such a titanic juggernaut like MVP Black. We're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's the most played battleground of the tournament so far from the BlizzCon opening week. And it's a battleground that MVP Black has picked now. They haven't picked it yet in the group stage because they really haven't played that many games.
All right, time to get into this. The first best of 3 here at BlizzCon in the round of 8. MVP Black goes up against Team Freedom as we begin the draft.
I will say this, is that if you're afraid of a team cheesing you, it's actually very difficult to get away with different types of cheese, because the bigger battlegrounds, you have different things of doing that, as we see a Morales ban coming out. But I think that might be the safe option in terms of battleground choice. MVP Black obviously feels confident on this. They're going to minimize the risk, by going in here with the Tassadar pick or Tassadar bait.
Interesting thing, in their first series of the tournament, MVP Black first drafted Morales twice in a row, and now we see that ban. Is this an echo of what MVP Black would want to do, or did Team Freedom get baited to remove a pick that really doesn't matter to Black?
I mean, it's a safe, this is standard. If you do bait out that Morales, you're typically speaking going to go for the Oriole. Great on this map for the rotations. We've seen Dansky quite comfortable on that Valis, a definite pairing that you can go for when you go for the Oriole. You've still got the likes of, you know, even Lunara for that poison damage, but given how MVP Black have opened this one, they're not going to reveal too much. They've got that reliable stun engage, and they've got that wave clear through Rhaegar.
The big thing about this is they like to run double support. Nasmus is their Ariel player most of the time. They also like to run Lucio with this composition, and when we first saw Lucio at the Western Clash, the first tournament we ever got to saw Lucio, this was the battleground all the professional teams are playing. You got a lot of wall ride opportunities, a lot of ways to take advantage of both those, especially Ariel. I just wonder if they're willing to commit to it this early.
ETC comes out, matching Warrior for Warrior. Muradin and Greymane as well. No Lucio yet. Team Freedom in their 8 opening games have played Lucio in 6 out of those 8. Was this something to focus on for other teams, or do they really lean heavily on it?
They've done their homework. MVP Black respecting what Collusion did during that opening week. He single-handedly, for the most part, in my opinion, was doing a lot of the work, which allowed them to almost take games off, or take series off
100% agree.
The one thing that Lucio tends to do, it's kind of a counter towards a Malthael. Tormented Souls goes in, you drop the beat, really makes things happen. And we've seen a lot of Malthael play in the second phase. Rich started to peel off of that a little bit towards the end, but it's still a go-to hero for him. One that he can dominate team fights on. It's something that on Tomb of the Spider Queen he absolutely loves to play historically, so we'll see if we see that route now for MVP Black.
I actually really like this Cassia ban as well. We've seen a fair bit of Cassia this opening week as well. The charge strikes, the talent at level 1, obviously. A lot of AoE spread damage, not to mention you are then going to nullify a lot of that auto attack spread itself. So they are suggesting that Team Freedom really want to clump up. They want to stick around Oriole's heal and be that battering ram to try and get through MVP Black's squad.
This is where the curtain drops for MVP Black's draft. It's looking just like an echo of their group stage games where they really aren't showing that much yet. Is this just how they like to draft every time, or are they continuing to hide things? Ana played twice so far in the group stage by MVP Black. Of course, both were a win. They haven't lost yet. And they're combining it with Li Ming.
The best thing about this, so Sake is generally the Rhaegar player, Kyocha plays Ana. They've been going into a lot of the double support. You get good wave clear with Rhaegar, you can play it safe. And the whole thing about this, going into the double support with Li Ming, they now are able to flex Rich's hero. It could be melee. We anticipate it to be melee. But now they put the onus of the draft on Freedom, because if they don't have something to deal with the potential Malthael, you'll see something else. And Rich's hero is always the single biggest threat in a team fight. This guy is a living legend in our game who came back from retirement to come out. He's like, I'm playing again and I'm dominating.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world, and Team Freedom now has a big problem. They have to either deal with Sonya or Malthael, both of whom are absolutely terrifying with that nano boost of Ana. Team Freedom, I feel like, has been driven into a corner in this draft.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the Ana and Li Ming, for me, both really reliable counters towards that ETC. We saw Kyocha last week when he was going up against the Muradin. Wasn't even scared of Muradin. I don't have any mobility on Ana, not a problem in the world. But Team Freedom now are going to look in that Malthael and the Uthas, so they are going to try and respond in
that's one way to make
fashion.
Sure. That's one way to make sure Rich can't pick Malthael. So we might see the Sonya, but I wouldn't be surprised if we might see another ranged here potentially coming out. Maybe Rich flexes over to that. I think the Sonya, of course, is a very safe, logical approach.
Sure, she's probably the most obvious. What else could be coming out here? Maybe Dahaka potentially.
I think the reason I like Uthas so much is probably just the fact that they realize that, okay, there's a lot of interrupt potential by MVP Black. We have to commit to this team fight. We need that Divine Shield. We need that cleanse. We need some way to find value with this ETC or the Malthael, because they're going to be running in, popping those ultimates. They need to find some value.
One thing that'll be particularly interesting is when Malthael uses Tormented Souls, getting that Divine Shield, because Ana has something, oh, by the way, that says you can't heal when she drops that grenade on you. So you got to make sure you get in there, you're able to get the D-Shield. I think that's why they picked up the Uther, to make sure and get value out of that Malthael when he does go in, to make sure you don't have to deal with that anti-heal from Ana. Now, again, the particularly interesting thing here, what will Rich be on?
It's a big question. We're going to see it in just a few seconds. Team Freedom has a lot of all-in potential with Malthael and Greymane and the Divine Shield, and Black will answer with Ragnaros.
That's a good start for me to this tournament, I'll tell you that. Ragnaros coming in at the very end. Not the most common of picks nowadays in the meta.
The Chinese region feels like Ragnaros is first pick material on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now coming in last spot, We didn't expect it. We think of something like Sonya or Dahaka. Rich hasn't really shown Ragnaros that much yet, but he does a great job at defending early objective pushes from the opponent, and that makes him a fantastic choice to supplement Ana, who has a little bit less wave clear.
The biggest thing about this is that at mid-season Brawl, I think early on we saw Ragnaros' winner was like 2-7. Everybody's like, all right, we're done playing this hero. We're tired of losing. He lacks mobility. You get a little bit of movement speed off of his E, but that's about it. I'd love to see Team Freedom, if they're going to try and take control of this game, we might see a 3-2 split with the Rhaegar, but if they're going to take control, they're going to have to focus on Ragnaros here to try and get these early picks to get control of the battleground.
I think the thing for me, Jay, here, when I'm staring at that Team Freedom squad, is there's a lot of early game emphasis, right? They are looking for kills, they are looking for aggression, they're looking for the wave clear. They want to be the ones playing proactive and forcing MVP to be reactive, which is a situation they're not too familiar with, right? So if Team Freedom can get that initial few first hand-ins, can reach level 10 first, maybe get a pick or two there, it sets themselves up quite nice, and that could potentially get into the heads of MVP.
It will slow the game down as well, potentially. Team Freedom, MVP Black, I think, feels that if the game goes longer, they force out more mistakes from their opponents, which they believe they're probably mechanically superior to.
I agree.
I actually want to go back to Skimmy's point. I think it's a really good point in the sense that we have a lot of guys that are new to this stage. They are going to be feeling the nerves, and sometimes the best way, it's you try and get that first kill out of the way, calm the nerves down. I just hope they're not tentative. I think that's going to be a very good approach. If they're aggressive, I want to see that happen.
Well, of course, make sure to continue voting, as you could see it ticking away there while the draft was going on. Are you for MVP Black, or are you for Team Freedom here in this best of 3? We're ready to go over to our commentary team as we bring you the first series here of the round of 8 for the HGC 2017 finals.
The entire year has been building to this moment. BlizzCon 2017. Caldor, what was your favorite moment so far?
Favorite moment was definitely how we saw the group stages shape up and how we now have the bracket. Every player was so invested into seeing which team they have to face and preparing for them right now. So all of that accumulating now in the first day where we have the round of 8, it's going to be awesome.
Well, we're ready to go here. Let's go ahead and go into game number 1. Tuma Spider Queen as Team Freedom is against the wall trying to take on MVP Black. Now, Caldor, we've been waiting months, almost a year for this entire moment. Team Freedom North America making a top 8, surprising many here, and they have a hard matchup for day number 1.
Yeah, and you have no idea how terrified I am that Rich actually picks Lava Wave on Ragnaros.
If he does, I will pinch his beautiful cheeks. Let's go ahead and move into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the left side of the map, we have Kyoja on Ana, Reset on Liming, Rich on Ragnaros, Saka on Rhaegar, Tist on Muradin. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for MVP Black!
Here from North America, Naf is playing Ariel, Zugrug on ETC, Cure on Maltfield, Daysky playing Grey Mane, and Collusion on Uther. Give it up for North America's Team Freedom! And just like that, the tournament is underway, Caldor.
The one thing that really stood out to me in the interview that we had from MVP Black is that from the get-go, they knew, of course, that the crowd would be hyped for the North American teams, and they have to go through this now. Of course, the spray spam is already on, and we have 2 amazing drafts for the 2 teams for our first map here.
That we do. Team Freedom going to late game strength here with Maltfield and Greymane. Decent early game 2 with some kill potential because of that Greymane. Zugrug moves in for a palace ride, already on top of Tist. Gonna miss out on the kill, but you see that Team Freedom is ready to fight.
Yeah, and actually coming back on that point, I talked to them a lot over the last few days, and they said straight up, yes, we might throw a cheese MVP Black's way at some point, but we feel we can straight up fight them. We want to play this straight up. We want to make sure that we go into the team fights. It's our biggest strength, and we want to make sure that we excel there. It's not going to be easy, but we feel we can do it.
That goes all the way back to day number 1. When we talked to them, they said they want to adapt. They want to adapt the most here in the tournament. But MVP Black is already moving in. Zugrug getting low. Should be able to escape. A heal comes out, but MVP Black bringing all 5 to the middle lane here to get a kill.
Yeah, and at that point, of course, we have, especially with Liming, so much burst damage here as well. Later on in the game with a nano boost of Ana, it's going to be pretty difficult for Freedom to survive. Zugrug in that moment on ETC, barely getting away here too.
Yeah, Ana always following up that grenade, trying to deny that healing from Ariel, getting that 100% delation on the grenade coming in, trying to get those combos to pop out, but so far not working out there as Zugrug comes back nice and healthy, continuing to trade on the wave clear. Rhaegar on the top lane, though, is being a nuisance. Team Freedom will have to pay attention to that as he continues to push forward.
Now, MVP Black, of course, with the composition they play here, they need to be a bit careful in the early stages of the game. If you play with Ana, piercing darts is one of your most important talents. You really want to complete the quest so that you can stay a little little bit farther back, and that's one of the things that Freedom might look to exploit in the earlier stages. Going in with Graham and Malthia. For now, on the other hand, it's MVP Black. They're going in for Nazmat, and they get the kill!
First blood coming in for MVP Black, and going back to your point with that Ana, Kyocha is going to be very important on that Ana, using the healing dart to drop in and of course scout out those bushes. But look at this, he always lands a sleeping dart from across the world, it feels like. Team Freedom will have to watch every single step, especially with that level 1 finishes up.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them. Black said straight up that they are in a spot where they feel they can take any team. They are absolutely not afraid. In the past, especially talking about last BlizzCon, for example, they felt they underperformed. They said, yes, the teams we faced played well, but we thought we underperformed a lot. At the mid-season brawl then, it was more so the other teams outperforming them a bit. But ever since then, Black has just really stepped it up. They are playing so well right now in the entire Phase 2, during the group stage as well, and they are here to make it all the way to the finals.
What makes it scary is they mentioned they're confident, but they've also done the research. That's what we've missed in the last couple of tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
MVP Black coming in and not respecting their opponents. Now, they are ready and they are studying every single team they may face.
Especially with what happened in the group stage, we had so many different strategies coming out, especially of the North American teams. So now everybody has to prepare, and the format, of course, caters to it as well. Once again, both teams trying to turn in the gems, 30 on each side thus far, as we are seeing both of them shocking around the turning point.
Now we are a level and a half away for MVP Black to hit that level 7, get that heavy impact, which is very important on Murd, and continue to jump in, follow up with a Stormbolt. Now this will take some damage, but able to kite backwards. Team Freedom does seem a little shaken, though. They're very close together. The Uther and the Oreo always being near each other, making it very easy for Tis to come in and land that Stormbolt.
Now Black has, of course, a very, very dangerous draft here. You talked about Murden and just what he adds. It's also the aggression that we now have with reformed Murden, jumping into that backline. But when we look at the setup of Team Freedom, after level 10, they have that Divine Shield for the potential Mosh Pit, for Greyman when he goes in, or for Malthia. So there's so much potential synergy, and Freedom is trying to get to that stage. And so far, it's a very respectful game from both teams, only one kill.
Well, Team Freedom even closer to the first turn in the game here. 48 out of 50 needs 2 more gems to be dropped off, but MVP Black looks to go ahead and get their own turn and reset, drops off the gems, and the first Web Weaver of the game will be going to MVP Black.
MVP Black now with the first objective here, and in the meantime, we still see Kyocha working on the Piercing Darts quest. He's currently on 5 stacks. Tis on Muradin with 12 on his own, so they are trying to complete them as fast as they possibly can here, as we now have finally level 7 kicking in. That is exactly the power spike on Muradin that you've been talking about.
Exactly. You jump in, heavy impact, Stormbolt, you have the entire combo coming from Ling Ying, and then also, Sophira's Hungers is done already for Ragnaros, which means there is a slew of damage that can come out and milk any member on Team Freedom. They will have to be careful now that level 7 has hit. Looking at the results so far of the Web Weaver push, a little bit of damage here in the middle lane, bottom lane getting pushed pretty aggressively. Top lane does get dealt with from Team Freedom, but they're going to have to rotate down soon.
It's all about how much can Black get out of this, and they're trying to go for Zogrog. Reset, here comes the Stormbolt, and that's skill number 2. MVP Black takes down ETC, and they want Q as well.
Reset once more, he's going in here, misses out on the missiles. We'll have to back on up, but they are behind a fort here. They may be a little bit too aggressive. Need to turn around and take down this fort. And here's the issue, Team Freedom has to give it away. If that fort goes down and Rich is able to use Molten Core, that puts him in a station where they can continue to get more kills.
That was actually a really cool move by them. After they eliminated ETC, they knew that Uther was still up at the top lane, so they invaded with everything they had behind the fort as the Web Weaver still pushed. So Freedom couldn't actually use the fort and try to defend against the Web Weaver, and that netted MVP Black and a level ahead. So that was really calculated and well done. It's always a bit of a risk diving behind a fort, but if you know that your opponent is only present with 3 heroes and you have 5 that you can throw into the battle, it's always
Been, because I know you're all asking where she is at today, and most importantly, where she's going. What about Thrall?
Was it. So I'm really looking forward to his performance in the big team fights that we can expect later on in the game.
Personally, I hope we get to see his Lucio in this best of 3 series. His Lucio is probably the best of the entire tournament so far. Team Freedom finally hitting level 10, and they are in a prime position to force and engage. Reset seeing this, backs away, and now it's all about dancing around in the middle. There will be another tournament.
Out yet, so they are going to wait for an opportunity to kill one of MVP Black and then maybe carry that momentum to an objective and to a leading experience.
On the other side, you're keeping your eyes on Tiff right there on that Murd, and he'll be the one to decide when they're going in and forcing the fight against Team Freedom. For now, he dances around and plays around his Stormbolt cooldown. Watching the bushes on the right side, but Zugrug is wanting to fight. You can really sniff it out here. He jumps in for it, goes in for the power slide, and Kier will get some harassment in.
And Zugrug is always careful. He knows that Tist is waiting for an opportunity to isolate him and take him down. And he is actually in a bit of an exposed position there. If Sulfur's Smash comes down and Li Ming lands a combo, then ETC can be blown up quite quickly. That is, of course, where once again Collusion on Uther comes into play. He needs to be ready if that happens, and he needs to use that Divine Shield, which would give also ETC an opportunity. ETC with a mosh pit. It only hits one. They're trying to go for right now, but they don't get him. Here comes the stasis as once again ETC's in trouble, and this time he goes down. MVP Black with the talent lead, kills one, kills two, goes for Oriel, and they drop the third one.
MVP Black with a total of 5 kills so far in this match, turns around and looks at the 4, and they will easily take it away here in the middle lane. Team Freedom starting to fall further and further behind. Jim's also in that team fight.
Not having Uther available in that fight with Divine Shield was a huge problem, but he comes back to that one-shot potential that MVP Black now has. Uther had no chance. His stun lock just completely obliterated him, and he had no opportunity to Divine Shield himself. And when Malfield then tried to go into battle, he just had no one to really back him up there. And that was a massive problem for Team Freedom, as they are now attempting to get level 13, so they have a fighting chance in those team fights.
And it doesn't stop. MVP Black has another turn-in available. They're about 10 gems off, but they're able to get that pretty darn easily, especially in the lanes pushing back towards them. Team Freedom is getting to a point here where they have to win a team fight soon, or they're going to be too far behind.
Now here's a good point though. Freedom was able to turn in a lot of the gems before the fight happened, so they haven't really lost too much. They are still in a position where they can get the second objective for themselves, and MVP Black is an entire level off before they hit level 16 talents. So even though there's a 2-level discrepancy between the two teams, Freedom has an opportunity to fight here now. And especially with Black also running a double support setup, Malfiel is level 7, the touch of death can really make a difference here if Freedom gets the engage they are looking for.
Well, in about 3 seconds they can go for that engage. They'll be missing out on the mosh pit, but having Tormented Soul with Divine Shield can be enough. They turn around for the fight as Tis jumps in. We're going to have the Aegis being used right away on Kier. Here is the Tormented Soul as he dives towards the back line.
Ragnaros on the other side, going for the Molten Core. Rich trying to cut off the path of retreat, but Tis is in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Sulfurous Smash. Everybody on the side of Team Freedom is already
will land on top of Dansky. He's getting lower and lower, and finally, he will.
As the Korean teams take one after another. Here the fight once again. Cure early on in trouble. Mosh Pit not ready. Has to pop Tom and Salt. The Molten Core in the back covering everyone, and all of a sudden Team Freedom has no way to escape. Sulfura Smash hitting 3, and then it's ETC to fall first.
And from there, the fight just fell apart. Team Freedom was trying to escape, hoping to maybe get a 1-for-5 trade, but couldn't even get that. MVP Black goes for the boss right after this as well, and will be able to grab it easily with a turn-in as well. This is not
Three-level lead for MVP Black. They timed the Web Weavers perfectly with the boss up at the top, so at this point they can just heavily push for keeps. The forts are all gone, and Team Freedom is in a dire position right now. They have to hope for a miracle fight here. A great mosh pit might be the answer. Malthiel maybe getting a
ahead of their opponent, about to be 3 as Team Freedom's getting closer, are having to deal with this push that is coming their way. The keep well falls, there's going to be a boss about half health moving in, but look behind it, a Web Weaver's still coming.
Web Weavers coming in here, Mirror Ball on 16 for Li Ming. At the same time, of course, the 13 talent on Anna, Smelling Salt, incredibly powerful here as well against the setup that Team Freedom is running. They're going to lose that keep for sure. The only question is, are they going to lose the game here? Freedom moving back as Testando Mirrodin is jumping in once again, looking for target.
Looks like for now they have defended, but they still have to watch out. Molten Core has been popped. Gonna have Rich sieging from afar. Dansky is low on health. He's getting dangerously low. May fall victim here. We're gonna have Tis jumping in on top of Cure.
Here's the Divine Shield though. Once again, Cure's going in and he's trying to get some kills here. They are moving in and attempting to drop one, but Greyman is the first to fall here. Once again, Zogrok trying to protect his team, but Tis is jumping in deep once more.
He's looking for Zogrok. Zogrok is able to kite back to the keep, but look at the Web Weaver and minions in the way to take the damage from the keep. Rich is chasing them into their base. He does not care. He's looking for Nath's next. There it is.
Black does not respect that base whatsoever. They're invading every single keep here. They want it all. They have a 4-level lead right now. 4 heroes are already down for Team Freedom as MVP Black moves towards their core and mercilessly slaughters Uther as well. The entire team wiped once more. 15 kills to 0.
15 to 0, and the core is falling. 20% down to 10. No one up here for defense. Team Freedom will fall to MVP Black as they go up in the series 1-0.
An absolute brutal game here. MVP Black with a 5-level lead, taking down Team Freedom. And the game plan for Team Freedom just not working out here. MVP Black using every little opportunity they had to get a kill and then carried the momentum to the next team fight, to the next objective, and just never let up, never gave Team Freedom a fighting chance.
Team Freedom was hoping to match mechanics against MVP Black, but as we talked to our North American fans here, they were clamoring for some cheese. Maybe that is the time for it to come out. Let's go over to our analyst desk and see what they thought about game number 1.
A brutal assault there from MVP Black in their first game on the stage, because they are here and they mean business. Very, very powerful start by MVP Black. Skimmy, there was very few mistakes there by the South Korean team.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it just kind of felt like MVP Black, another day at the office. We're here to play Heroes of the Storm. We're here to show you how it is done. And Team Freedom, you discussed the cheese, you discussed the different strats. What do they have?
That sign wasn't far off the mark for that first game.
I feel like I know that guy. Anyway, that was really scary by Black. I'm still shaking. 5-level lead, not how you want to debut your first BlizzCon match ever. A 5-level deficit, that is, for Team Freedom. And the combined power of Ragnaros with his Molten Core and with his defensive position, with a very safe play from Rich, and then Anna's Sleep Darts. Anna's Sleep Darts are never easier to hit than when something is coming right at you. A warrior like ETC, I mean, Black was able to save so much time, buy so much time, get those turn-ins, and then play for the late game. And that nano-boosted Li Ming does so much.
Right,
the biggest thing about that, and it was what Skimmy was talking about, is trying to be aggressive early. And when we saw the draft, we see the Rhaegar there. A lot of times Ragnaros is the solo laner, right? Well, we see the kind of shift there. Rhaegar helped it. You got the support there. You've got the wave clear. And so then it just drew Team Freedom down to a different game. And I think they really needed to disrupt the rotation between top mid and try and get some early picks. They had the ETC into the stun, the multiple stuns between Uther, Ariel potentially there. I just feel like they didn't understand the early game they had to win, especially pre-level 7.
Well, as quick as game 1 wrapped up, we'll be moving on to game 2 here in a second. But before we do that, of course, a word from our sponsors.
The 2017 Heroes Global Championship Finals are brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Intel, T-Mobile, and NVIDIA.
Game number 2 about to begin here in a second between MVP Black, currently leading 1-0 against Team Freedom. And I think, our commentators stated it very well there, that if there was any time to really start saying, maybe we should pick a map and maybe we should figure out some of our pocket strategies, it's absolutely now for Team Freedom.
I mean, what screams to mind for me would be Tales of Doom. Tales of Doom is a map that they find a lot of success on. You got the idea of Alucio, the Abathur. Abathur, typically speaking, is banned away by MVP Black. They don't want to deal with that global pressure, but this is a hero that does allow you to, in some degree, win that solo matchup. We talk about Cure and Rich, their interaction together. If you've got that Abathur hat there, suddenly that's a matchup where you say, look, Rich, you're not going to have all the time in the world to exert that 1v1 flair that you are so famous for, I suppose.
And a name that always comes up, of course, is someone like Rich, who we can take a look at in a bit more closer detail, kind of under the microscope, as it were. And let's be honest, a lot of people tout him as the best player in the world, one of the best players in the world. He came back to MVP Black, and so far they've been on an absolute tear with Rich on their side.
Yeah, some people might say he was the best player in the world even when he was retired.
Nothing was more exciting for me than when we had a chance to talk to him at Eastern Clash number 2, and I asked him, I said, when was the time that you decided I'm coming back? He said, it was around April, but when I saw my team lose to L5, now Ballistics, he's like, that's when I knew. Like, I had to come back, and he has come back in dominant fashion.
Yeah, he definitely has. On the Ragnaros in that previous game, not exactly the most common hero nowadays, but an extremely strong performance, Grubby, that, again, we mentioned, they just have to be bulletproof, it feels like, against some of these teams like Team Freedom.
Yeah, and this is what MVP Black essentially was. A big reason that Ragnaros performed poorly in the last half year or so is because they get greedy. They're winning their lane, they're pushing out deep, trying to get some little value, and they would get ganked and they would get taken down by aggressive rotations. Now what I think we are seeing is the evolution of the old 4-1 split. 4 heroes mid-top, 1 bottom. That's not true anymore. MVP Black here, putting 2 members in the bottom lane, really are taking care of that fragility of that deep pushing Ragnaros, and they're really helping it to win rate.
Let's head over to see which battleground we are going to be on now. We're expecting a Team Freedom choice, perhaps, as they take us to Braxis Holedown. There's not too much surprise here.
I mean, me and J-Hub just look at each other and go, yeah, we know this is coming, right? Warhead Junction, it's off the map. That is an NA special. Braxis Holedown also an American special, right? So if this is their time to try and bust out that Xayah, bust out the Morales, go for that push.
I was looking at you guys too, but you didn't see me.
Left out.
We'll look back at you now. No, but if you actually go back, historically, Korea and teams, they generally ban this out. They're like, we want nothing to do with it. It is particularly interesting because we generally do see a 1-4 split, a little bit more traditional. You might see some tricks here. We'll see if that skirmish does go in favor of Team Freedom.
Let's get into it then. The draft begins for game number 2 here. Currently, MVP Black leads 1-0. Team Freedom has to win this to keep their hopes alive at BlizzCon.
Braxis Holdout, the least played map alongside Warhead Junction. Is there a blessing in the result here coming up for Team Freedom? And one thing I would like to see Team Freedom do is either to draft heroes that are more multi-dimensional or more one-dimensional. Now that may seem like a contradiction, but they either got to go for something very cheesy, or let's say not cheesy, but very targeted. Really follow up with a plan and just do it. You're down 0-1 against MVP Black. arguably the #1 favorite of the tournament.
I couldn't agree with you more. You've got to stick to your plan, stick to your guns. If you're going to do it, then go, by all means, go out with a bang if you have to. I mean, go out, grab yourself a Kerrigan like Tempo and surprise some people, right? Just fully commit, whatever it is, just fully commit. And we'll see what Team Freedom does. And the interesting thing here is we see 2 supports banned out. Ariel's been a high priority for Freedom, although they're taking it off the board.
Yeah, and then begs the question, are they going to go for that Tesla early adaptation? No, they're not.
Wow,
ETC and Genji going to come off straight away. It does spring to mind Brightwing as being really that pairing as that support choice for the Genji. You jump on in with the Swift Strike, you've got the Emerald Wind to follow things up, you split the team apart. Probably not the map for it, but MVP Black, you can just see the sheer confidence. They lock in that Malfurion and the Gul'dan. No hesitation whatsoever.
That Gul'dan being high, not that common in the tournament so far, but on Braxis it has strength.
Yes, Gul'dan has barely been picked so far in this tournament. Mages have been picked far less. Li Ming pretty much gets picked together with Ana, is the trend that we've seen at this tournament. For the rest, with that Muradin first pick, MVP Black is continuing to draft some of the highest win rate heroes of this tournament. Who are doing the best here? Dahaka, Muradin, and Rhaegar. And this kind of standard out of MVP Black, it can mean one of 2 things. Either MVP Black doesn't respect Team Freedom enough to show their pocket strategies, or maybe they have the confidence against any team to repeat the same high win rate heroes over and over until it doesn't work anymore.
And you know what I really enjoyed about what we saw from that initial draft phase there was that MVP Black instantly go for that wave clear. They go for the Gul'dan, they go for the Malfurion and saying, look, if this is what NA want to do, they want to go for that pushing style of strat. We're going to have ample ways of clearing this out. So yes, you have gone for the ETC, yes, you've gone for the Genji, you're looking for that all-in kill comp like an early game last time, but we don't know what's going to come around that corner. Tass is still available. Zarya's still available. You've got some ideas to flare it up.
I really want to see what MVP Black brings to it, because you have sustained damage in Gul'dan, which is unlike any other on this map. You have Muradin, who now with heavy impact at level 7. Oh, by the way, you know exactly where they're going to be, so he's going to get a lot of value. We always used to kind of see the old Stormbolt into roots. Now you've got heavy impact into roots far earlier, so your kill potential is going to be there. Gul'dan doesn't necessarily have the burst damage, but he does put out enough to kind of go.